Well, it's happened again. The usual suspects. A Mississippi Trump supporter, Shane Allen Spence, has been arrested for SAing one of his own children over the span of 4 to 5 years. As you can see up here, he updated his cover picture on July 13th of 2024 of that picture of Donald Trump. The details of this story are sick. This guy is 45 years old and committed crimes against a female family member over the span of 4 to 5 years. She was 16 when the first event took place. All of this shows, yet again, the types of people that idolize Donald Trump. It's disgusting, and what makes it even worse is the fact that the Republican Party loves to claim they're the party of family values. But yet they're constantly exposed, it seems like every other day, for harboring predators like this guy. They love to demonize immigrants and the LGBTQ plus community, really anyone that they possibly can, so they can ignore the fact that most of these predators are in their own party. When terrible events like this happen, Fox News and all of the other Republican media outlets completely ignore it. There is a culture of hate, hypocrisy, and extremism that runs deep in the MAGA movement. And this case is yet another horrifying reminder of that reality.
The Oklahoma Trump supporter who posted the fake AI images of Kamala Harris with Jeffrey Epstein, Damien, was arrested for the rape of a child. I would pretend to be shocked, but I'm honestly fucking not.
They gotta type. And the type is children.
White men continue to be the most dangerous thing in this world. A Trump supporter pulled a gun on children protesting ICE in Fort Worth, then tried to backtrack after realizing he was on camera before police arrested him. What is up with white men and children these days? Is whether we have the Epstein list and all that shit going on, or them trying to pull guns on them. We've seen fights with these white men and kids. Like, you guys say you want to protect children, but I see anything but that. And what is it with you guys having all this smoke, but the minute you see a camera or realize the consequences of your actions may arise, then you want to backtrack? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I'm a man of the people. I'm actually a man of God. Save that bullshit. Propaganda from the media has taught us that white people were the saviors or something, when it's the complete opposite. These people are dangerous. They harm children. They don't give a about anything but their own self. And it's like, what the are we doing? What compels you to pull out a gun on kids? For real. Like I said before, white men are dangerous.
Trump said no taxes on tips, but now he's giving our tax dollars to guys who put their tips in kids. Do you want your tax dollars stolen to make child millionaires? I personally don't like that. By the way, I cannot say this enough. This is actually happening. It is not an exaggeration in any way. Andrew Paul Johnson is the face of the Trump MAGA movement. This guy was ramming through barricades, ramming through kids. He broke into the Capitol on January 6th. Trump gave him a full pardon and promised, all January 6ers for their troubles would get a payday someday. Andrew Paul Johnson told children that the money he's going to receive from Donald Trump will be in his will. He'll leave them in his will, and they'll get the money if they don't speak about what he did to them. So this guy was pardoned by Trump after violently breaking into the Capitol on January 6th. He said, Daddy Trump's gonna give me money, and now Trump is gonna pay people like him with American taxpayer dollars. How is Trump gonna give this guy our taxpayer dollars? So you know how Trump was suing our IRS because there was a data leak of 40,000 Americans, and like 1% of Trump's tax returns were in that leak, and Trump said, I want $10 billion from our government? Well, his Department of Justice approves, all those cases. So they're gonna come to a settlement. Originally, Trump wanted $10 billion from our government, stealing taxpayer dollars. But now they're asking for $1776, $1.776 billion to go into a slush fund to give to Trump allies who were wrongly, persecuted, prosecuted after events like January 6th. And the acting attorney general today was asked, will this guy receive money? Will Andrew Paul Johnson receive money from this slush fund? That's already crazy. It's already crazy enough. They refused to rule it out. So this guy's dreams of paying off children who he with our taxpayer dollar, it would have worked. He did not lie to those kids about that. Trump is paying off all of these thug criminals, and it's a travesty. Please drop a like, repost this video, and follow my page. We need to cover all of these stories.
Welcome to the show. So do I have a story for you today? Not one, But two of Donald Trump's Kool-Aid cult members were just busted in a human sting. And you're not going to believe where this took place. I mean, it's just sweet poetry. So before I dive into the details, please do me a huge favor, hit the subscribe button below. It is free for you. It really, really helps. I greatly appreciate it. So here's what's going down, or what went down. So there's a MAGA influencer and a January 6th convict, two separate people who were just both nabbed. Each of them were both arrested in a Florida sting. This was targeting human. So Margaritaville, y'all, and not child, although I guess there were some people arrested for that, but these two were not. For these two, it involved, so, party of family values and all that good stuff. So take a look. This is one of the clips of the sheriff who oversaw this. And as you're going to see, they came up with a very funny name for this operation. But here's what he said about the first person I mentioned, the MAGA influencer. And they made almost 300 arrests.
Craig Long we arrested. He's 41. Some of you may recognize him. He's an influencer. He also owns Craig Long Fitness in Tampa. He was seeking the services of a prostitute. Did I tell you that he's married? That he's got 125 followers on Instagram, 568 followers on TikTok? Well, I'm going to give him some content for his social media today. He was a previous felon who straightened up, really what we want to see in life. Now he's an influencer. He moves in big circles, even with the president. This is a photograph with the president and his son not long ago. Now, we like to see people who make mistakes early in life, and he had a long history straighten up. We like the fact that he likes the cops. Heck, he liked them so much, he got caught up in a sting and got to be up and real close with the cops. We asked what his attitude was. They said, he had a great attitude. He appreciates law enforcement. Well, there you go. Got arrested in a human sting. Influence that for a while.
So sheriff's got jokes. He's got some jokes there, guys. I love him.
49-year-old suspect Billy Cagle arrived at the Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport Monday morning. You see him park his truck, and once inside, he takes a walk and looks around. Little did Cagle know he would run into law enforcement.
He seemed to be very interested in the TSA check-in area.
Police say he was only in the airport about 15 minutes before he was arrested for threatening to harm as many people as possible with this AR-15. Investigators say it was in his truck, loaded with 1 bullet in the chamber and 26 rounds in the magazine. His loved ones are who notified Cartersville police about the threats, saying Cagle streamed online sharing his plan with the world.
You guys remember this guy, the indigenous self-hating MAGA Mexican who thinks he's white?
I'm white. I'm not a Mexican. I don't claim to be a Mexican. White. I identify as white. I ain't a Mexican. I'm an American. I was born here.
Well, I did some digging, and the results are going to shock you. Well, not really, but check this out. Like most MAGAs, he regurgitates the same things that we always hear. That immigrants are criminals, that they need to get deported, that they're committing crimes, blah, blah, blah.
Horrendous crimes and charges. That's who y'all went up there and stood up for. Horrible. They come here, they commit crimes, they hurt us, they unalive us, and they try to run back to Mexico, wherever freaking whole country they're from.
Well, for somebody who doesn't like crimes, you sure like committing them. You heard that right. Cristino is a convicted felon. Not only is Cristino breaking into homes, but he's also manufacturing and delivering controlled substances. You know what? It's all starting to make sense now. Cristino thinks he's white. Cristino wants to assimilate because he knows he's one strike away from being deported. It all makes sense now. So remember, felon, Cristino, when you point a finger at somebody, 3 more are pointing back at you. But anyways, let me know what you guys think.
So here you have MAGA independent journalist Cam Higbee actually assaulting protesters out front of an ICE facility. You see, these people aren't new media. They're not journalists at all. They're acting on behalf of the Trump administration to spread lies and attack people. Period. End of story. And then watch, he runs like a little bitch. What a coward with his armed guard, pepper spray, and then run away. You see it, and watch where he goes back in the end. And it's curious to me that you can go into a federal detention facility with a weapon, because that's what pepper spray is. But you know what? If you're working for Trump, you're getting special treatment. There, look at him, running away. Pathetic. This is all a farce. It's all disinformation. Understand that.
MAGA, this is what using your vehicle as a deadly weapon looks like. Not this. This. Also very funny how the hypocritical maggots out there are celebrating this and cheering on this aggressive driver. Now, as far as the person who uploaded this video, his name is Nathan Young. He said that he's okay, he was not hurt, but did give an update, and this is how it went. As a result of that driver's reckless actions, yes, now he has to face the legal system and has to deal with law enforcement. That is how a situation like this is supposed to end. But according to MAGA logic, that driver should have faced the same fate as Renee Nicole Good, right? Oh no, now all of a sudden, it's not his fault. Now all of a sudden, it's okay for him, but for some reason, they're just scraping as many excuses as possible for this person. It's okay for you guys to do this. It's okay for law enforcement to do this, according to you guys, but anyone on the left so much as breathes the wrong way around you, you cry domestic terrorism. Grow up.
Here we go again, yet another story proving who is actually committing these horrific crimes, and I hate to break it to you, but it's not a Democrat. An anti-trans Alabama Trump supporter named Austin Lee Rounds has been arrested for the SA of a child. And as you can see up here, this is a picture of Dexter grabbing the neck of the guy who unalived Charlie Kirk. He posted this on his Facebook. We'll take a look at some other things he posted as well. As you can tell here, this guy was an avid fan of Andrew Tate. How surprising. And he also made this post saying that he will end friendships with people who he catches celebrating the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Another one that stood out to me is this video right here that he reposted on his account. Take a look at it.
How many genders are there?
2.
What are they?
Male, female.
What about the people that say there's like 20 different types?
Well, there's 2 genders and a near infinite number of mental illness.
This guy was not an immigrant, transgender, drag queen, or a Democrat. He was a MAGA Republican. He spent his time posting anti-transgender rhetoric online, and now he's been charged with one of the most insanely disgusting crimes imaginable against a child. Meanwhile, Republicans love to pretend they're saving the kids from all these transgenders and drag queens. But 99% of the time, it's one of their very own people committing these types of crimes. And when this happens, they are absolutely silent. No outrage, no sweeping legislation to help these kids.
Out of the 1,600, 33 insurrectionists have been rearrested, charged, or sentenced for other crimes. Those charges include aggravated kidnapping, child possession of child pornography, sexual. A lot of these incidents are from before the pardons, but either way, this is Trump pardoned all these dangerous criminals, put them back on the street, and now, shocker, they're doing dangerous, scary stuff. Of course this was gonna happen.
This story exploded online for one reason. The timing could not have been more politically brutal. Minnesota Republican State Senator Justin Eichhorn was arrested during a prosecution sting operation involving an undercover officer posing as a minor, according to authorities. And the internet immediately noticed something else. Just hours earlier, Eichhorn reportedly introduced legislation targeting what Republicans call Trump derangement syndrome. And suddenly social media did what social media always does. The story instantly transformed from a criminal case into political symbolism. Critics online immediately started calling this situation hypocritical and absurd. Because regardless of political parties, Americans are exhausted from watching politicians spend massive amounts of time, effort, and energy on culture war messaging while serious allegations, both ethical and criminal, keep surfacing about government employees. Now, to be clear, an arrest is not a conviction. However, politically, the optics are catastrophic. because this is exactly the kind of story that feeds public cynicism towards politics in general. Americans already feel like political leaders spend more time fighting online culture wars than they do making any real changes. And when a politician pushing highly partisan messaging gets arrested just hours later on allegations as serious as this, it becomes instant national outrage fuel. But this story is also revealing something much deeper about modern politics. Terms like Trump derangement syndrome aren't really policy ideas. They're political branding tools designed for social media engagement. And increasingly, politics itself is becoming performance content for the internet. Meanwhile, public trust in institutions keep collapsing because voters look at serious stories like this and think, how the hell are these people running the country? And that frustration is growing across both parties right now. Share your thoughts in the comment section and follow me for more.
You MAGA demon!
There you have it, everyone. These are the people who want law and order so badly to the fact where they are going to throw rocks and hide their hands in these various ways, as we've seen in a lot of these clips. And it's always just going to go to show you, like, these people have so much pent up hate against anyone who is not white, to where they want to blame it on immigrants. They want to blame it on the trans community, people of color, black people, everyone. And these are the people who are amongst us in society, trying to act holier than thou to make it seem like everyone else is the problem, where the problem is within their own party. Very, very interesting, the fact that everyone else is supposed to be deemed as a threat to the country. Everyone else has to be deported to go back where they came from, quote unquote, their words, not mine. But these are the people that we encounter in our schools, in our daily lives, who are participating in acts like this. All the while, our government is trying to make it seem like everyone else is the problem, where the issue lies most prevalent in their party. They don't want you to realize that, though. That's why they're trying to point fingers at every other community, because they want to be able to do their crimes on the hush hush, while everyone tries to focus their minds and attention on minorities, while they're out here committing these horrendous crimes, especially against our children. These, again, as a lot of the creators in this video said, this is the party of family values. We got to protect the children. We got to make sure our children are safe. But yet these are the people that are doing the most harm to the children to begin with. So where's MAGA's outrage for that? In all of these stories and the videos and these creators' comments, I don't see any outrage from anyone on the right, anyone MAGA, anybody. But yet let it be a Democrat that's getting arrested in this, like, oh, these people are crazy, these people are delusional, they deserve to go to jail for merely just pushing somebody. I'm not saying that it's right. That's just one clip that I saw while getting this video together for you guys. It was a clip from the Daily Mail. It looks like maybe it was at a protest or something, and there was a liberal woman who I guess maybe just pushed a Trump supporter or something of that nature. I probably should have included it, but it wasn't quite on subject. But just for a simple, again, I'm not for assault. I don't feel like we should use violence unless we absolutely have to. I'm sorry, a lot of people may not agree with that, but I'm a person who it's like, okay, you stay calm until there's no way you could stay calm any longer. That's just how I feel about it, because especially a Trump supporter is not going to get in my face and antagonize me and go to the point where you're invading my space and touching me and trying to get me riled up. Anyway, I'm just saying that's just my opinion on it. Ooh, I'm a criminal. Call me a criminal. I don't care. They are the ones who's always right in everything. They could do no wrong. But yet we have people who they were at the events at the insurrection of January 6th and committed these crimes against the law enforcement. Again, where's law and order? Y'all are, during George Floyd, it was all about Blue Lives Matter. You know, I stand behind the cops, but y'all didn't for this instance, though. Again, where's the law and order? Interesting. But anyway, these are the people who are able to get away with this type of stuff. Look at how Trump is trying to set up this slush fund for them to actually get taxpayer dollars for committing crimes. Like, I'm like, where is the outrage for that? Y'all all should be outraged. What about the waste and abuse that y'all are wanting so badly to find and hold people accountable for? But y'all are okay for your tax dollars to go towards criminals and then repeat offender criminals, which a lot of these guys in this video are. A lot of these guys were at the events of January 6th and committed these crimes against children and towards other people. But again, no outrage for that. Anyone that was protesting during the George Floyd, everybody was thugs, criminals, rioters, every name in the book. Where's that energy for people that were at January 6th and assaulted officers, pepper sprayed? Like, a lot of these officers have lifelong PTSD from this. There was a guy who lost his life on the front lines for this. There's probably a good amount of them who took their own lives because that trauma got to them so much that they couldn't even stand being alive anymore. But yet everyone else is supposed to be the people to be afraid of when y'all are committing the most amount of the crimes. Just putting it out there. I know a lot of people don't like when I do the comparison with Democrats and both sides are going to do it. Just like when a Democrat gets arrested, it's going to be all MAGA in the comments being like, hey, ooh, thank God, blah, 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 blah. That's good for them. They deserve it. So, it's going to come from both sides. And people get arrested every day on both sides, whether they're affiliated with a party or they're blue or they're red. You have criminals, right? It's not like I'm sitting here being delusional, putting it all on Trump supporters. And of course, there are Democrats who have committed crimes against children. We're not going to ignore that fact either. But at the same time, Democrats don't put themselves on such a high pedestal, trying to make it seem like they are the standard to reach whenever it comes to establishing family values and following them. And this is what happens when you allow these people to get to power. They get little slaps on the wrist and they're back out doing the absolute same thing. Y'all want to listen to these people who are already at the top and are getting away with literal, you know what, out here trying to make it seem like it's Democrats you have to be scared of, when it's people within MAGA, the Republican Party, who have long-standing history of doing this. This predates the start of MAGA. It's always been Republicans who have been the most violent, corrupt, and the biggest danger to children. I dare a Trump supporter to come in my comments and try to defend that and say that I'm lying. If you don't want to accept it, that's not my problem. But you are not going to come in here and pretend like everyone else is the problem, where, of course, this is just a 15-minute video worth of clips. That's just a small section of the people from the Republican Party who have gotten caught, not even just doing violent crimes and just crimes in general. The majority of these were towards children. First guy in the first clip with the creator talking about the guy who was abusing his own family member. But that's the same person that's going to be out thinking that, oh, all immigrants need to be picked up by ICE, being racist to other minority groups, acting like they're beneath him when he was doing that for 4 to 5 years to his own relative. That's the person that's supposed to be telling me that I'm not worth being here? I think not. No. And this is why we need to hear more of this. It's unsettling to know that this is so prevalent. And I really feel like you should, if you don't already, pay attention to your local news. I pay attention to the news here in Texas and back home in Louisiana, where I'm from. I feel like it is every single day that somebody is getting arrested for some sort of child abuse or exploitation. It is getting insane out there. But again, these are the people, and I can only talk about the states that I've lived in. Of course, they don't state the political affiliation of everyone arrested, right? So I don't really have proof to say that all of these are Trump supporters, but I'd be willing to bet at least the ones in Louisiana, or the majority of them, are probably Trump supporters, because Louisiana has a very high percentage of Republicans in the state. Always have to bear the brunt of everything. It's always the Democrats, everyone else is always the danger. But yet all of these people, and this is why this gets to the top, and I feel like the Epstein stuff was able to happen because enough people are in power to protect the people doing the crimes. That's why this is always going to be a thing, unfortunately, because everyone starts to just allow it to happen and keep it a secret, all because of money and to gain power. I don't know. It just is such an uneasy feeling. Just imagine how many people that are in our government right now, or in our state government right now, who are doing this on the daily and we don't even know about it, who are getting away with it because they have power. And that's why these Republicans that are in government right now are trying to deflect the blame onto other groups so that the regular Joe Schmo Trump supporter Republican could, again, focus their attention on the minorities, the blacks, the Hispanics, the Asians, the Middle Eastern immigrants, everybody, because they don't want that attention focused back on them. But what does that matter anyway? Because it seems like they're going to just defend it no matter what. I mean, we had a whole predator man become the president twice, and you have people defending it and refuse to hold them accountable. So I don't even know if it's even worth trying to hide it anymore. Shows that you're able to get away with it if you're on the right side. It's never going to get old to me, and I'm going to continue to point it out, because these are the people who try to make it seem like, and I'm going to keep repeating it, are going to make it seem like everyone else is a danger to society, when it's really the people within their own group and own side on the political spectrum. I think it's obvious because you hear of it every day. And before, again, another Trump supporter says, what about Eric Swalwell? Stop. I already did a video on him. I call it out on both sides. We have to stop it at all costs. In a lot of these cases, I could almost guarantee you there is probably at least one family member that probably knew about this but didn't say anything. But they excuse it for everyone else within MAGA. But let it be a Democrat, let it be anyone else, they're the ones that we have to hold accountable. Nobody is ever going to be more violent than Republicans. I'm sorry, that's my opinion. Agree or disagree, that's fine. I said what I said. I feel that a lot of people are going to continue to ignore these things that are happening just because it helps their bottom line. And it gives them excuse to continue their racism and their hatred for other groups. Some of these politicians and these regular Joe Schmo people could be committing crimes right in front of these MAGA people, but they're not going to care because that's the people they align themselves with. So they don't see anything wrong with it. But let it be an immigrant or a transgender person or a black person. Oh, they calling the cops as soon as they see you even walking down the street sometimes. We're always the threat. I just don't think anyone is going to be as much of a threat as a Trump supporter. Yeah, we have to start getting this out there to where people could be held responsible for this. It's not okay. And unfortunately, I do think that it's going to become a bigger problem. Because if this many people, even in our government, are getting caught up in this, I could only imagine how much this is happening with everyday people. Let me know what y'all think about this down below. Again, I know it's dark. And don't forget to like and subscribe because that really would help to get this video pushed out to where more and more people could be aware of what's happening within MAGA itself, even though I'm sure a lot of people know, but it would definitely be helpful and appreciated. And if you made it this far, I appreciate you as well. That's all I have, and I'm going to catch you all in the next one. Bye. See you later.